the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is in big trouble, and we need to talk about it. A secret character has been confirmed for the FNAF movie. FNAF insiders have shared their reception of the Five Nights movie, and the verdict is, the time period for the movie is officially confirmed, and Chuck E. Cheese and Five Nights are at war, and fans might be going too far. All of this and more on what might just be the most important episode of the #1 FNAF movie news show on the interweb. This is SLUURP's Behind the Scenes. Alright SLUURP heads, Connor here, coming at you with another episode of our Five Nights at Freddy's BTS series that's not just big, it's monumental. We're standing on the cusp of what could be a Hollywood history-making event, and it might not be for a good reason. We've always got your back, SLUURP fam, so consider this your gentle spoiler alert. We're diving headfirst into one of the most riveting episodes of Behind the Scenes yet. Strap in and let's ride this rollercoaster together. Okay SLUURP heads, I promised you some juice last week, didn't I? Well, strap in because today's tea is scorching. Honestly, it's probably one of the most important news stories we have and ever will cover on this series. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie's release is creeping up on us, and guess what? Some fans are biting their nails in apprehension due to the latest developments surrounding the film's review embargo. Here's the scoop. Discussing Films' Jacob Fisher confirmed and said that the exact time and date the review embargo would lift for the movie would be Friday, October 27th, 3 AM. In a since updated report, Horror Movie Insider Critical Overload contradicted this, pointing to October 26th at 3 AM. Whichever day it is, one thing's glaringly clear. The film will have already hit theaters in places like the UK and Mexico by the time these reviews are even allowed to see the light of day. If you missed last week, here's a crash course. Studios brimming with confidence about their film usually lift embargoes way in advance. It's to show strength. Good reviews fuel ticket sales. Think about movies that get seen at festivals months before the planned release date. So what's the inverse? Well, delayed embargoes often hint at a studio bracing for a storm of bad press. But holding back critics when a movie's already out? That's more than odd, folks. It's practically unheard of. Fans are obviously quite worried about this. Movie pundits such as John Campea have even responded, pretty vocally, explaining why this is such a bad situation.
It's not just a red flag. I'll go one step further. This is despicable behavior. Guys, I'm sorry, but this is the studio trying to con you. This is the studio hiding stuff from you. Can you imagine if Apple released a new product and said, yeah, but the tech reviewers, you're not allowed to review the thing until after it goes on sale, because we don't want people to hear that it's not good. We want to dupe people. We want to con people. We want to swindle people and not let them have the opportunity to hear some critical analysis of the film before you spend your money on it. Guys, don't listen to anybody. Just listen to the millions of dollars that we put into a marketing campaign, and just listen to this finely crafted piece of propaganda that we've made to convince you to give us your money. Don't listen to anybody else. It's horrible.
I can't lie to you. The doomerous inside of me is screaming, we are about to make history with this being the Room levels of bad. But look, this is a movie we've all been excited for. Are there any reasons to be positive? Well, actually yes. The ever-observant Fisher, who broke the news, made an interesting point. He noted that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie hits Peacock streaming the same day it releases in theaters. Now, streaming servers do love their simultaneous release embargo dance. Case in point, the Blumhouse strategy for Halloween Ends, which is actually a movie Blumhouse has previously spotlighted. As they said, Universal is emulated Halloween Ends with their release of Five Nights. The review embargo for this Blumhouse movie also lifted on the same day it opened in theaters and simultaneously on Peacock. Although, I'm not too sure if that's a good thing, given the critic and audience scores for that movie. Doom O'Connor, stop. We're staying positive, we're staying positive, we're staying positive. Some fans have argued that maybe, just maybe, the late embargo is designed to shield the intricate lore of the Five Nights franchise from early spoilers. Don't say it, Doom O'Connor. Don't say it, Doom O'Connor. Don't say it, Doom O'Connor. F it. While I wish this was true, if this was really something the studio cared about, we wouldn't be getting the movie early in some countries. In our social media driven culture, spoilers are going to be everywhere in seconds. Look, I know this is a bitter pill to swallow so close to release day, but I want to touch on a sentiment I've seen floating around, summed up by a comment on one of our BTS highlights. Here's what it said. People shouldn't listen to critics. Our opinions as fans matter. We should be the critics for them. Remember, everyone don't listen to what critics have to say, and most of the time they're wrong, so screw them, and I think it's gonna be amazing. No matter what the critics say, I'm going in excited, and I'm gonna watch this movie with an open mind. But that doesn't mean the critics' opinions are invalid. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't represent some sort of cabal of critics in the dark shadows planning to hate on your favourite franchise. Ultimately, they watch way more movies than most of us, so it's very likely they will have views that differ from the general population. I honestly think it's kind of ridiculous that some fans are going into this already dismissing whatever the critical response will be, because they know this movie's gonna be amazing. You haven't seen the movie yet. I mean, the amount of people out there who take a difference of opinion about something subjective as a personal insult is staggering to me. So in closing, if movie critics end up hating Five Nights and you end up loving it, here's a spoiler. That's a good thing. You liked the movie. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. In other news, let's move on to a news story that could actually contradict everything previously said about the critic embargo. Yes, I'm evil. Okay, wow, that was a pretty heavy news story, eh? I know that many of you that haven't completely lost their minds by this point will be pretty nervous about the review embargo releasing so late. After all, history does indicate that this says something about the studio's faith in the movie, but I reckon it's time to sprinkle a little sunshine on the FNAF parade. Amongst the doomerism that has been spreading across social media, two FNAF insiders that have featured quite a lot on this show have been attempting to keep the positivity alive. The first is none other than Entom DP, who amongst the release embargo controversy took to Twitter to say, "I haven't done a post like this in a while, but I got permission from a source of mine to share this. Test screenings for the FNAF movie had a positive reception. Audiences thought it was great." This was further supported by the Gandalf of FNAF News, Johnny Blocks, who reposted Entom's tweet alongside a statement that read, "I'm very delighted to hear the news, and I can also confirm its validity." Now, while it's a tad unclear about the number of sources backing this feel-good news, it's a sigh of relief amongst a whirlwind of doomerous predictions. As the movie inches closer to its Peacock and Theatre debut, our best bet is to hunker down, stay open, and find out what the reception is upon the release of the movie. Oh, here we go. Alright, SLUURP heads, after taking a deep dive into some dense FNAF waters, how about a cheeky swim over to another river? Yes, how about a little palate cleanser? No chica, I'm not talking about pizza, you cheeky little thing. With news stories changing minute by minute in relation to this movie, I think the best way to cover all of the hottest happenings regarding FNAF movie news is with a speed round. Let's kick things into overdrive and see how many bite-sized news nibbles we can chew on. My god, I'm gonna have so many outtakes for this. Ready? Let's go. We got a brand new FNAF movie poster variant. This one showcasing those eerie red eyes and a little sneak of Josh Hutcherson. Although, I've got to say, the design a tad on the questionable side. I don't know who okayed this, it's pretty ugly. There's an official Snapchat filter now. Get up close and personal with the film's animatronic renders. Slap on some AR tech and you've got animatronics creeping around your living room or bedroom, wherever you really want them. Insomnia Cookies is jumping on the hype train, delivering a tasty treat called Freddy Fazbear's Cookie Pizza. Talk about a perfect palate cleanser. Pop-up Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location has sprung to life on Sunset Boulevard. The twist, you can't go inside. It's meant to be a rundown, Insta-worthy backdrop. Snap away, SLUURP heads. The SAG saga rages on. Studio bigwigs are still casting themselves as the complete tossers they are, not giving the actors what they deserve. This means the likelihood of cast doing press for the movie is looking, well, pretty unlikely. The inspiration behind Five Nights at Freddy's Chuck E. Cheese is serving up its own spooky season special. Five Nights of Fun, their event poster? Where have I seen this before? But here's a zinger. Leaked event rules highlight a staunch don't mention FNAF policy. Yep, their employees cannot mention the Five Nights IP at all. Since then, it's also been revealed that some Chuck E. Cheese employees feel that the FNAF community has been harassing them at work, which is, honestly, pretty stupid. Don't do that. Oh wow, how did I do? Well, you already know there's going to be like another 10 news stories that drop by the time this hits YouTube, right? Alright Slurp heads, it's time for the moment we've all been chomping at the bit for. New York Comic Con was buzzing with energy on Thursday night when Blumfest 2023 took the spotlight. The main man, Jason Blum, Commander-in-Chief of the renowned budget horror studio, laid down some juicy tidbits on what's simmering in their horror cauldron. And boy did our hearts skip a beat when Emma Tammy, the director of the Five Nights movie, graced the stage. During the panel, a never-seen-before clip was showed to those in attendance. It reportedly featured Mike watching an eerie Freddy security tape training video. Tammy dropped some pearls too, after a nod to Jim Henson's team for their wicked practical special effects. She dropped some tea on the wonderful Matthew Lillard. Apparently Lillard's kiddos are big FNAF aficionados. The most gasp-worthy part of Blumfest? Emma Tammy spilling a bit of tea about a secret movie character. Roll the clip.
But I know as the director, there's some stuff that you just put in there and they're like, this is gonna be. Can you give us a preview of one of those moments that folks can sort of come? Because there's things that were all like, spoiler? Not a spoiler. More of like, hey, if you are a fan of this in the game, you might see something about this in the movie that you're excited about, or just like a little amuse-bouche of what the real Five Nights at Freddy's fans could be excited to see in this one. Well, I will say there's one FNAF character that we have not yet revealed in any of the teasers or trailers, so that's something to look forward to.
So get ready.
There's somebody that you don't know about. Actually, that's a great one, yeah.
Alright Slurp heads, it's speculation time. Who could it be? Springtrap? Given the movie's vibe, many are betting on a steaky end credit scene with Lillard's Spring Bonnie going full Springtrap during the infamous Springlock scene. How many times did I just say spring there? But don't count out Balloon Boy. A while back, IMDb might have spilled the beans, hinting at Dylan Horner voicing our floaty friend. Plus, a certain movie trailer sneakily showcased Piper Rubio's Abby eyeing a doodle of Balloon Boy himself. And our wildcard? The puppet. While a long shot, rumours are swirling. Some juicy gossip even hints at Jane Wheeler doubling up for the voice and mocap for this elusive entity. It's all guesswork right now, but what do you think? You got a theory? Spill those beans down in the comments below. With the cast holding their picket signs tight, our FNAF movie press tour is now riding on Emma Tammy and Jason Blum. And let me tell ya, just as we were about to hit the record button, IGN goes ahead and drops a killer interview with Tammy. Now, you probably remember us talking about those cheeky animatronics acting up on set a few weeks back, right? Well, Tammy dished out a new fiery tale. Quite literally.
We were rolling and I heard someone quietly and calmly say, "Foxy's arm is on fire." And I looked over and one of the servos had been going for quite some time and it overheated, which happens sometimes. But this was actually the only time it happened on set. And it just started smoking and everyone calmly like walked away. We put it out and switched out the arm. But yeah, it was, they were live robotic elements at play, and you know, sometimes they only have a certain amount of time that they can operate without.
But there's more. Our ever-curious minds have been pondering over the timeline of the FNAF movie for a while now. When will it take place? Well, Emma Tammy finally puts an end to our wild guesses. Roll the clip.
The film is set in the year 2000, and we're flashing back to 80s and 90s eras, and I think I particularly and Scott wanted to pay homage to those time periods and the way that movies were made back then. And
was anyone else dead set on the 90s? Because same, but a 2000 setting, well, I'm kind of here for it. While those tidbits are juicy highlights, trust me when I say the whole interview is a must watch. Fancy a deep dive? Check out the full interview in the description down below. Okay, Slurp heads, what a frickin' episode. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. We're drawing the curtains on what has been an absolute colossal week here at Behind the Scenes. As always, let's end with the moment you've all been eagerly waiting for. Let's get that drum roll going. That's right, folks. Don't rub your eyes in disbelief. We're merely 12 days away from Five Nights at Freddy's. With just under 2 weeks to go, soon all this speculation and drama about reviews and embargoes will all be over, and we'll get to formulate our own opinions. And I'm sure when that happens, there will be no drama at all. Yeah, of course I'm being serious. If you're as hooked as we are and don't want to miss a single update from the Five Nights universe, you better hit that subscribe button. And as always, a massive thanks to the ever-passionate SLUURP community. I've been Connor for SLUURP, and I'm going to see you in the next one.
This the anthem. If you rockin' with it, put your hands up. Yeah, this the anthem. If you get up and get it, put your hands up. Yeah.